The human fascination with flying takes all forms. Here in the Mohawk Valley, we've seen small planes, ultralights, an occasional hot air balloon, even a skydiver. But there's one contraption people have been hard-pressed to give a name to. So News Channel 2 photojournalist Kirk Tupai went along for a ride in this flying machine. And Karen Huxtable has the story.
It's an early autumn morning at Mack Airport in Frankfurt. The rising sun promises a beautiful day ahead. The buzz of an ultralight is all that breaks the morning stillness when suddenly,
clear!
On the grass runway, Cliff Crandall prepares to take to the sky in what looks like a glorified go-kart. A closer inspection reveals a big prop and an attached parachute.
Checking all the lines now to make sure that they're not tangled, because this looks like spaghetti.
Cliff has 13 years experience as a skydiver and 10 years piloting what's called a powered parachute.
First time you get spaghetti like that, you go, oh no, what am I gonna do? Well, you relax, and it goes away.
Cliff has named his flying machine Dragon Wings.
This is our wing. It's laying there waiting to take shape. Clear! Clear!
It's the forward motion of the machine that pulls the front lines, allowing the cells of the parachute to fill with air. That creates the wing that gives this bird lift. There's something very free about flying without the encumbrance of a cockpit, and while it certainly has its risks, there's that adrenaline rush too. From 2,000 feet up, the ground below looks like a patchwork quilt. But the nice thing about the powered parachute is that it also flies low to the ground, skimming not only treetops, but even blades of grass. And as you might imagine, when Cliff pulls up alongside, people tend to pull over and try to figure out just what it is they're looking at.
I'm going to use my Luga horn to make sure that they know that it's a friendly space vehicle.
Cliff steers his powered parachute with his feet, pushing on the pedals pulls the toggle lines and makes it go left to right. Pushing on both at once causes the parachute to flare. As Cliff starts to descend for a landing, he informs our photojournalist Kirk, who's along for the ride, that he's going to shut the engine off 1,000 feet above the ground.
Well, with this kind of flying machine, you never have to turn the engine back on. I can do what's called a dead stick landing. I can glide it in on the parachute.
The landing is gentle. The parachute collapses, lifeless now. But Cliff is a frequent visitor here at Mack Airport, and it won't be long before he rolls Dragon Wings back out for another adventure. Karen Huxtable, News Channel 2.
Felt like we were right there.
It's music synonymous with summer. But since the beginning of July, the streets have been silent in some parts of Whitestown. Today, Anthony Cirincione wanted to bring back the music and the treats, riding in a truck, handing out ice cream to residents.
Would you like an ice cream? It's free.
The problem, Cirincione says, it's local noise ordinances, ticketing trucks if music is played too loud or after business hours.
It's become an American tradition, and I think the law needs to be changed.
But the town council says it's not that easy to change the law, just if someone wants it changed. Noise is noise, whether it's a car horn, a radio,
$4.95 drink special,
or a catchy jingle.
We don't all like speed limit laws, we don't all like noise ordinance laws. But if he's speaking specifically to the noise ordinance law, to change that would mean you open up the door to anyone who wants to play loud music at 10, 11 o'clock at night, who wants to park out in front of your home playing loud music, who wants to pull in your driveway and blow their horn advertising the sale of balloons to your children.
The law is the law, but town officials and residents both say it's unfortunate they're missing out on summer treats.
For a kid like John here, who's growing up, you know, it's part of growing up, hearing that Mr. Dingling's, sound throughout the entire neighborhood. So why should kids like John miss out on that?
In New York State, where we get 2 months out of the year, maybe with days like this, for the 15 seconds it takes Mr. Dingling to drive by your house, you just kind of ignore it.
Noise ordinance or not, all day today the music was back, and Cirincione says his goal was met, raising awareness and giving the kids a taste of what he says is a real summer. In Whitestown, Kristen Lauman, News Channel 2. With the flip of a switch, this '83 Volkswagen is running on used cooking oil. While people sob over the high price of gasoline, some drivers like the Humphreys are tooling around basically for free.
6 to 12 cents a gallon.
After researching online and paying $200 for parts, Dave Humphreys converted his diesel engine to a grease guzzler.
These are all water lines to heat the filter, the fuel line. So after it's up to temperature, I have a switching valve on this side that just changes where it's getting its fuel from the regular factory diesel fuel tank to the second tank I had to put in the trunk for vegetable oil.
In the trunk is the tank, 12 gallons of fryer oil, fueling the car.
It came out of an old inboard-outboard boat. Holds 12 gallons, and inside the insulation it's a metal tank.
The parts came from local businesses, the oil donated by local restaurants. Dave collects the grease, filters it at home,
Draws it through these two basically house water filters.
but the car still needs to start and stop on diesel fuel.
Cooking oil is thick and heavy, so it won't flow through the filter system to run the engine. So I have to start it on the diesel fuel.
Since it's been converted, the car uses the same amount of fuel and gets the same gas mileage. But Humphrey says his car smells a lot better than a normal diesel.
It smells more like a French fry because that's the oil I'm putting in, so that's how it'll smell coming out.
It started as a pet project. Now Dave Humphreys says this car is a money saver and it helps the environment. Plus, he says now the pain at the pump isn't so bad.
I think it's gone up a lot. It's gone up about 15 cents since the last time I put fuel in my car.
Does it matter to you?
No, it doesn't.
There's blood and sweat, but at the Adirondack Ice Bowl, there aren't any tears.
That's what we come out here for, is the bruises, cuts and bruises.
44 teams from around the country travel to the Adirondacks for 2 days of round-robin face-offs in the freezing cold.
A lot of hockey, a lot of fun, a lot of cold weather.
Many of these skaters grew up playing hockey, some even professional. But this is a chance to have fun and bring the sport back to its roots.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a different kind of hockey.
The weekend attracts more than 4,000 people. These are no fair weather fans.
Even the cold, it's just part of it. They come up here, they want the Adirondack experience, they got it.
Some are warming up by the fire, other with cups of coffee, but you better drink it fast because everything freezes at the Ice Bowl.
The hood is probably the key because it breaks the wind. I have hand warmers in my feet to keep my toes warm and really good gloves.
For others, staying warm depends on how creative you are.
We took the koozies that the boys got in their pack and put them on our feet.
In the end, the winning team gets the bragging rights, but everyone leaves the Ice Bowl a champion.
We used to be super competitive guys, playing hockey and growing up, and win or lose, we drink the booze.
Reporting from Inlet, Anna Myler, News Channel 2.
When I'm carving, it's like I'm in a totally different world. It's awesome.
John Vincent Antoniuk owns From the Forest Chainsaw Carving, a business that opened up just 5 months ago, and in those few months has already expanded.
Well, the whole town was talking about it. Yeah, the whole town was talking about it. Because I was down here for only 4 months, and then I needed to expand within the first 4 months.
But life wasn't always this easy for Antoniuk. Just 4 years ago, he was homeless. He had nothing, and sometimes he thought he was worth nothing. Then he saw someone chainsaw carving and decided to give it a try.
Once I started carving, I was like, wow, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, And I did some YouTube, and I bought a couple carving books, and I just went at it, and it seemed to work for me. I got better as I carved.
In fact, John Vincent has had so much practice, it only took him 4 minutes to carve this.
I'm proud. My family's proud. And I'm dedicated, so it's just, I'm climbing the ladder basically. It's a really good feeling.
In Barneville, Nicole Hart, News Channel 2.
This was a common sound at Bernie Bus this morning, or should we say, last night.
All right, when it's really cold out, our night crew will start our buses up between the hours of 10 o'clock and 11:30. Then they shut them down. Then we have a normal crew that comes in at 4:30 in the morning to start them.
All the mechanics were here at Bernie Bus by 4 a.m. The cold weather forced them to use their safety net.
We have about 12 spares. We had all of them out today because we had 12 that wouldn't run.
And those that would run did so only after much persuasion, including jump starts, changed fuel filters, additives, antifreeze, and some stress relief for the crews. You see, the gas is actually freezing up in the fuel tank, turning to jelly in the fuel filter. So today, once they actually get a bus to start, they're not going to shut it off.
We're going to leave the buses running all night tonight, and that should be a big help.
You might ask, with all this trouble, why not just have a snow day? That's what this Kernan parent wondered. She wouldn't even let her daughter walk around the corner to school.
Just mighty cold, and I just couldn't let her walk out here. So I had to bring her to school this morning and come and pick her up because it was ridiculously cold.
But the Utica School District's Director of Business and Finance, who's in charge while Superintendent Dan Loengard is out of the office, says there was no need today.
The only thing that I can really say to the parents at this point in time is that we look closely at the safety and health issues of the children. That's predominant in our minds. And at this point in time, we don't feel that the conditions at this point in time warrant the closing of school.